russosbrand.com, where the pros are the pros. Man, bro, I got to tell you, interesting interview with Jonathan Coachman and Chris Van Vliet, who I am a big fan of. He's a cool dude, bro. He is such a good guy. But man, bro, the longer you hang around, the more and more you continue to learn of how right Vinny Rue is. And Vinny Rue isn't some crazy whack job. Vinny Rue is a guy that tells you the truth because, as I tell you over and over again, I am not looking for a job. So I have the absolute freedom to tell you how things go down in professional wrestling. And Chris did a phenomenal interview with Coachman where Coach just comes clean. And there were really a couple of things in this interview that stuck out to me. Man, first of all, Coach got stiffed out of what comes across as a lot of money, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm talking about perhaps close to $1 million. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the number, but the way he talks about it, it was quite a big number. But he did some work for Vince's XFL. He wasn't turning in his invoices on a weekly basis. He was kind of letting them pile up. But then COVID came around and Coach needed the money. So he sent in the invoices. They sent them a check, and the check bounced. And, you know, he contacted WWE, and all of a sudden the WWE was saying, well, bro, that's not us. That's the XFL. And Coach was saying, well, doesn't the same guy own the XFL and the NFL? But needless to say, to this day, Coach never got paid the money. And that's why he claims he would never, ever, ever go back to the WWE. Now, I got to be honest with you, bro. I never heard of the WWE shortchanging people for money. I believe Coach 1,000%, but I haven't heard of that happening often. And, you know, bro, there's a part of me that really believes when somebody sees that video with the company, they will get it back to Vince McMahon. And there is something within me that tells me that Coach will get paid his money. I'm just being honest with you because, bro, perhaps Vince never knew about it. Whatever the situation may be, especially with where Vince is sitting now, you know, being investigated by the federal government, them searching out his house, the sexual misconduct, the NDAs. I would not be surprised if Vince McMahon made that right. He should make that right. But the one part of the interview that really stood out, bro, is the punishment, man. I tell you guys this every week and how immature and how petty and how childish that company is, that when they have a beef with you, you get punished in a childish way. And Coach talks about, man, he when the WWE was going overseas to the troops in Afghanistan and all that, Coach talked about going on every single trip. He was always the first to go, but then they were planning a trip and his wife was pregnant, and neither of them felt comfortable with Coach going over to Afghanistan. So for the first time, he said no. And then they came back and they said to him, we thought you were kidding. And he was like, kidding about what? Was I smiling? Was I laughing? I thought I made myself perfectly clear that I was not going. So he didn't go on the trip, bro. And sure enough, the next Raw, he's on headsets and it's the end of the show. And Vince tells him to go and attack The Undertaker from behind. And he knew right away, bro, based on what I've been telling you for years and years and years, Coach knew right away what this was. He goes to Taker. He nails Taker from behind. Taker actually says to Coachman, bro, I'm sorry about this. This was not my idea. Apologizes to Coachman, then lays out Coachman, drags him to the ring. Then Batista's music hits, and everybody hits their finish on Jonathan Coachman. Bro, you know how stupid they are? Do you know how stupid they are? Can you imagine if Coachman was somebody else, or if Coachman would have got injured and he would have filed a lawsuit and laid this out in a court of law? How this basically was a hit job without a shadow of a doubt. And I am so happy you're starting to hear a lot of these same stories from other people, so you can see they are 100% correct. We talked about, currently what's, we had the Lana going through the table every week. We've talked about what's going on with Nikki Cross currently. Then there was the little piece of business with Drew McIntyre that made no sense on Monday. When you see shit like that, guys, because even Coachman said attacking Taker from behind made absolutely no sense. So I figured what was going on here. When you see stuff in the WWE that does not make sense, bro, this is usually what's behind it. And I really hope that, through Russo's brand and these shows, I have smartened you up enough to really understand the pettiness, bro, and why, I am happy that I left, and I am happy that I am not a part of that. That was never, ever my world, bro, because Coachman's wife is pregnant and he doesn't feel comfortable about going to Saudi. So he is going to sit this one out, and this is what they do to him. And he talked about being so mad and so furious that he was actually on the verge of tears. That's how upset Coachman was. And bro, listen, I worked with Coachman for a little while. He came in, bro, at my tail end. I mean, maybe the last couple of weeks. But, this guy 100% looks like a stand-up guy to me. He's not going to make any of this shit up. And I promise you, as I'm listening to this interview, this is it, man. This is how it works. This is their world. And thankfully, like I said, more and more people are starting to step up and show you what that world consists of.